felt like it was falling, but maybe it's not. Okay, maybe it's better.
Yeah, you can tighten up all of those joints on it.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Is it?
Can tighten it up.
Wait, what was falling? The microphone?
Yeah.
Sylvia's not used to having things fall in her face.
Oh my gosh.
They usually stay pretty stiff, huh, Gage? Hey, Gage?
He won't even acknowledge you. He just walks away.
He was laughing. Tony knows what I'm talking about, right, Tony?
Inside.
Tony knows.
Tony also not laughing at
Tony
me.
has a mic.
Just shaking because he has to.
Tony has a mic, but he's always really slow to it.
Use it.
I'm quiet.
Yeah, he's quiet.
He knows when you've said something stupid and he won't back you up.
Tony, when's your baby due, huh?
You have a baby coming?
Yeah.
August 19th.
Oh, wow, soon.
Yeah. His mailman has a baby coming.
Is it your first one?
Yes.
Wow, are you scared?
No.
Can I ask how old you are?
Yeah. I look like I'm 16.
I know,
with
that's why I'm asking.
Shitty beard, but I'm 30. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, Tony just looks like a child.
Yeah, you do look young, but that's okay. That's
Tony,
a great thing.
Tony looks like a pedophile and the child that the pedophile would molest at the same time. We've already started the podcast, Sylvia.
We have?
Yeah, it's already started.
Oh.
I should probably do the thing, huh, Tony? Yeah. Yeah, all right. Major Ways Podcast. What's going on, guys? As you can see, we've already started the podcast. I want to make a statement about what's currently going on. We are filming this. Today's the 3rd. Is it the 3rd?
Yeah.
Today's the 3rd, June 3rd, 2020. The protests and riots are still currently underway. Those of you who fuck with me, like real, know that I have been out in the protests and the riots every day, and I've been on the front lines of the action, and I have seen some crazy shit, and I have had some crazy shit happen to me. So don't think that I'm not going to reference it. I just feel like I need a week to process and a week to really figure out how I want to communicate the experiences that I've had. And also, I have a guest coming in next week that has also been part of the week's. Sorry, this is tough, but the week's experiences, and I want to talk to him about his experiences. He's been in the shit as well. And he's been kind of experiencing things from a different point of view. I don't want to tell you who the guest is, but tune in next week, and I will be talking about that. But this week, we're going to keep things light.
Way to make me feel good about coming in here today.
What? Would you rather me be like, hey, guys, we're going to give you the viewpoint of two white people about the riots and the protests?
Yeah, no. I don't know. It's just so tough. But yeah, it's just such a somber, like, it really is. There's just no good way to like go about it and address it. I don't even know. So
I think the important thing is that the conversation has been started.
100%.
I think it's interesting to see how people who weren't part of the fight before are now part of the fight, which is what we really needed to get moving.
Yeah. It's so crazy because, like, I know we're not going to get to talk about it, but I'm just going to say this really quick. My mom is like so opposite of who I am and what I represent. She's like, my mom is a Trump supporter. She's like super religious. She lives her life for Jesus. And she and I don't see eye to eye on most things.
Right.
And she and I had a conversation about this, which I thought was going to be really difficult. And instead, she was on the Black Lives Matter side. And I was just like jaw drop. But I think what she had seen on the news, which normally she only watched Fox News, so I don't know what they're putting over there, but she said, I could see that the police were the ones setting it up. I could see that they're the ones inciting the violence, and they're the reason for the riots. And she was on, just the side of right. And I was like, wow, I didn't even have to convince her of this. Like, if those people, the people of my mother, who are the, what I typically believe to be some of the worst individuals in the world, can see that this is fucked up, then maybe we're somewhere,
I think the situation has been brought to light, and I think the news media and their coverage of it and their typical ability to continue to just push the narrative of negative and push the narrative of violence and the end of the world. And
well, it sells news.
Right. But I think that people are starting to see through it.
Yeah, I think so too.
And even people that have been blinded to the news media's coverage in the way that they push their narrative now are starting to say, wait a minute, none of this really makes sense.
Yeah.
And especially, there's some things that I've noticed that made it quite obvious what the police and localized government was trying to do and trying to achieve with all of this. It's been made painfully clear what their motives are, and people are starting to see it. And the news has kind of stabbed themselves in the back, because all of their coverage of it and so much of their coverage of it has brought to light and made obvious the things that are happening kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel like the media's over coverage of what was happening has kind of made people go, oh, okay.
Shit.
Yeah. There's some shit
up.
We need to read between the lines here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I honestly, I felt hopeless for the first few days, and I see a brighter future today. And I journal every day like a little 16-year-old girl, and I don't care. Make fun of me all you want. It makes me feel good. I also tarot card read.
Yeah, I was with you on the journaling until the tarot card thing.
It makes me feel better. Hey. Don't step on my parade. Don't rain on my parade. You can step in it all you want. No, so I really do. I woke up more positive today, and I woke up feeling like we are going to get somewhere with this, because I don't think it's just like us against them anymore. I think it's like, whoa. It's opened so many people's eyes, and I think so many people, even in law enforcement, like you hear the stories of the guy quitting the NYPD, or things of those nature, like the vets coming out supporting Black Lives Matter and things like that, like I didn't fight for this, like that type of thing. Like it is heavily ingrained in our system, and I think that's why I kind of felt hopeless, the racism, but I kind of see through it, and I think everybody's seeing through it, and I think that we're going to get somewhere this time. I really do.
I agree. I think it's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I think we're taking a step in the right direction, and the first step in the right direction is always conversation. So
yep.
I think
100%.
I think we're on the right path right now, if you will.
Yeah.
But
we digress.
We're going to save that for a later day.
Okay.
Silvia Saige, ladies and gentlemen. Silvia, how might the audience know you?
Well, you could know me from many ways. I am a stand-up comedian, and you might have seen me at many comedy clubs across the U.S. or in London.
That's not how they know you.
But you might also know me from from my podcast, Sexy Funny Raw, or more relevant, you might
not
know
how they
me.
know you.
From my over 600 pornography scenes.
600?
At least, I'd say. I don't know. I quit counting. Who counts that? You don't even know, and you're not a professional. Let's be honest.
Who counts? Pornhub counts that.
And Pornhub might. But you know what? Here's the deal. Somebody said one time, because I was on a show that did their research about me, and they were like, "Oh, it says here you've been in over 360 movies," and I was like, "That is extremely low number." I was like,
"That's insane."
Let's reevaluate. I've been in porn for 6 years, and I do. I mean, at my worst month, 4 movies a month. At my best month, 15 to 20 movies a month that I'm making. So I don't know math, but that's got to be more than 360 is all I'm saying. So, and then so.
I don't know math.
But it sounds like that's a lot.
Let's try a math problem. If Silvia takes 5 dicks on Friday and 6 dicks on Monday.
That's
but
11
takes
dicks.
the weekend off.
Okay, that's still 11 dicks, right?
What is the average of dicks that Silvia has taken in a 4-day period?
Oh, I can't do that. Is it like 3.5?
Is that 3.5 dicks, Anthony? What's the average? So 11.
Wait, you're calculating. That's not fair.
11 dicks into 4 days. How many? What's the average? What's the average dick per day?
I want to know.
It's exactly 2.75 dicks.
2.75 dicks. But I've seen some of the dicks that Silvia takes, and that's probably an average of like 32 inches per day.
It's a lot. They're big. I can't help it. They're fun size for the movies.
They're fun size?
Yeah, just for the movie purpose, you know.
Wait.
Like
no, fun size means small. So they're not
to me.
fun
Fun to me
size.
is big.
Fun size to you is big?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait, so do I have a fun size penis?
Oh my God. Of course you do. Look at your feet. Like everybody
shit.
knows.
I got big feet. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's so wow, 600 scenes. But not every scene is a movie though. Like that you do like websites
that's
and
true.
things like
so when you shoot for like specific sites, you just do like 30-minute clips basically, and they're just porn clips. And so I can film those in 2 or 3 hours. Those are pretty quick. Those are like really short scenes. And then if you're filming like a movie, like I filmed for like Sweet Sinner, where you can go and buy the DVD and it's like a 2-hour long movie of 5 or 6 sex scenes, something like that. Like those are a couple days. Like I go to set for several days for those movies. But
are people still buying DVDs?
I guess I still sell them. I
Really?
sell them all the time. It's weird, but
Do you have a website?
I mean, I have like silviasage.xyz. It just links you to my other stuff, but you can request on any of my platforms to buy them or whatever. It's weird the things that people still want. I didn't even know people had DVD players. I don't think I have a DVD player. Maybe I do. I don't know.
I have one, but it's in my garage.
Yeah, I don't think it's hooked up anywhere. Like I wouldn't watch it, but I think people still do. I don't know. It's crazy.
Do people not have the internet? Well, some people just don't have the internet.
Some people
are just old. Some people are old school. They're just like.
Also, some people are in India. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
what the fuck?
Do you know how big of my porn, like when you go into Instagram, if you're a business, it'll tell you like where your audience is from.
Right.
And most of my audience is in India.
You're big in India.
I'm huge in India. But it's weird. I think the reason is because I have very publicly said that I date Indian men and that I'm into brown boys. And so that I think where they were just like, oh, I could have a chance. And they're like, just for that reason, like they just blow me up. It's great.
So you're big in India.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious.
And Mexico. I'm huge in Mexico as well. That's
really?
a big part. Yeah, Mexico's big for me too.
Damn.
The brown boys are into it.
So Americans don't like you?
Not hugely, no. I'm not, because I think Americans are more into like the big voluptuous asses, and I'm certainly not that girl.
No, you don't have a big ass.
No, not at all. I barely have an ass. Like I work
I see you at the gym all the time.
Tirelessly trying to get one.
Up until the pandemic, I would see you at the gym all the time just doing squats
or on the bike or on the stairs. Like that's all I do. And now I have a bicycle. I ride it every day. I ride it to do squats at the park.
Anthony, you would think, like I understand squats at the gym, right? But you'd think with all the squats that she does at work, her ass would be huge.
You would think. You would think.
You're literally squatting all day.
All day.
How is it not bigger?
I don't understand it either. And I've had personal trainers, like multiple personal trainers. And I'm like, this is my goal. And they're always like, oh, yeah, I got it. And it's usually black guys who are my trainers.
Maybe you're not eating enough. You need to eat more.
I think that's actually what it is I think that my diet, I do eat healthy. I like to eat healthy. And I just don't think I'm eating enough is my issue. I just can't. I can put on weight, though. So it's tricky. Like
you're getting plenty of protein.
So much protein.
So much protein.
I can put on weight in my gut. It just doesn't go to my butt. He loves his jokes.
You said, I put on weight in my gut.
Just not my butt.
I swear to God, this is... This is so much fun. I needed this.
Just poking fun at me?
No, I'm not poking fun at all. You know, like
I know.
you know what it is.
I know what it is. It's
what? So you're big in India and you're big in Mexico.
Yeah.
What is it about? Because you're technically. You're like in the MILF category now, right?
I started in the MILF category.
When did you start?
I was 30. So, I mean, it's
okay.
fair. I didn't get into porn until I was 30 years old, and I already had fake tits. And those are the requirements. Like, over 30 and fake tits. And they're like, that's you. You're in that category. But I just made it in 2020 to... I was nominated for MILF Performer of the Year at AVN. I did not win.
Who won?
My very good friend. Honestly... Any of the women who won I would have considered to be my good friends, but Alexis Fox is like one of my nearest and dearest. So, yeah, and she won. Neither of us were there to see her win. We both were like, I stayed with her, and we were like, let's go.
Do you do a lot of like stepmom shit?
It's all I do.
Stepmom is like a huge thing. I think stepmom and MILF porn is the number one category.
They
right?
are. Yeah, we are like what's funny is because like porn is like catered around, like especially if you go to any of the events or any of the award ceremonies, they're all catered around the young kids. Like young kids. Listen to me. I say, all around those young kiddos.
All those young fellers out there that refuse to buy my DVDs.
No, but it's like catered to them. All the awards are their awards. Like our category, like I say it all the time, but we're like a subcategory. We don't even go up on stage. If you win MILF Performer of the Year, you don't even get to go accept an award. They just say flash your name up on a screen. No one even reads it off. Like that's how like we're the number one category, and they like don't even like. They don't even announce us at the award ceremony.
It's because they want all the young hotties on stage.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They don't want us like geezing up there, you know, like wheezing by the time I get to the top of the stairs. Like
I want to thank my manager.
No. You know what's crazy though is the MILFs are in way better shape than the young girls. Now these girls, they look banging. Don't get me wrong, but they're not gym bodies. They're 20-year-old bodies. Do you know what I'm saying?
Their metabolism is still tight.
Right. Like that's what you look like. That's what everybody looks like when they're 20, and that's fabulous. And I'm all about it. And trust me, there are some girls that show up on set and I am not even a lesbian, but I'm like so can't wait to make out with them because they're so fucking hot. Like I'm so about it. But I'm like, that body is going to fade, and that's what makes me happy inside.
Are you bi?
No, I am not bi.
You're only bi for pie?
I am a waist up lesbian, but I'm super into trans girls because I really like dick is my thing. I love penis and beautiful women, and I love breast. I love kissing women and fondling their vagina or fondling their breast, but I don't like licking vagina, and I don't like a woman licking my vagina. It makes me feel really uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah.
So you would rather be riding a tranny and playing with her boobs?
Yes. Yes.
That is so interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Because I super love dick. It's my favorite part.
But don't trans people typically lean towards men?
You know what? I'm trying to toot my own horn here, but gay men, trans men and women, they're into it. I'm just saying, like, I think that there's just something about a confident woman, and I come off very confident, and I think that just having that, like, I've had sex with more gay men and more people that you wouldn't think are supposed to want to be with me just because they're like, there's something about you. I want to have sex with you. I'm like, okay.
Have you ever turned a gay guy?
I don't think turned is the correct word because I don't think I'm going to ever take a gay man and to make him into a straight man.
Right.
But I think that there are gay men, and I know this to be true, that had never had sex with a woman, and they were like, I want to fuck you. And to me, that's like the biggest compliment because I'm like, that's so awesome. You've never wanted to be inside a woman until you met me. That's
okay, so so you've had straight men?
Yeah.
You've had gay men?
Yeah.
You've had trans
and bi. I have actually not had sex with a trans man or woman, but I really, really want to.
Oh, so you haven't yet?
I have not.
Okay. So you've had a straight man, a gay man,
kissed them, but
a woman.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite?
I really enjoy people who are bi.
Bi.
My best sex scene that I've done in porn, hands down, was a bi sex scene. It was me and 2 bi guys, meaning that like we're all having sex. Like everybody's sucking dick, everybody's getting fucked. Like everything is happening to everyone, and it was the hottest scene I've ever been a
Every
part of.
port is getting used.
Yeah.
Got it.
Like it was awesome just because here's the deal. There's something about sex when you let all of your bullshit out of your head and you go like, I'm not even worried about like if I look fat to these people. Do you know what I'm worried about? Is that we're all really into this and everybody's here to get the fuck off. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
so in that scene,
in
you're on set. Excuse me. You're on set. And even though there's people around filming it and there's a crew and the whole deal, all of that just kind of faded away in that moment.
Yes.
Because that's not typical of a lot of porn sets.
No, it's not.
Typically, you'll be in the middle of something, pause, okay, guys, let's do this
Typically,
more.
Typically, porn is more like 6 minutes in this position, 6 minutes in this position, 6 minutes in this position. But and there's a style that's called gonzo, and that's what this scene was. And in gonzo, it basically means we're not doing positions, we're not doing timing. I just want you to have sex for 45 minutes, and we're going to film it. And you know that you have to do position changes as a porn person. You can't go, okay, 45 minutes in missionary. But we know we're going to have to switch it up and we're going to have to make, 5 or 6 positions, but we're going to get creative with it. And it means that we don't have to do 5 minutes in one position. If you want to flip me over and turn me upside down for 2 minutes and then I get a head rush and then I want to come around and eat your ass, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? So It's just like, you can do whatever you want in a gonzo. And that's what that was for me. And it was just like, I just remember everybody being so excited to suck dick and get fucked, and I was like, this is where I want to be. Like 2 dicks, everybody's fucking. Like this is so good to me. I was so happy.
It's sad, Tony, that Gage is missing this conversation. Gage is our bi.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's bi.
Oh, see, that's great. More people need to be bi. I'm telling you.
He's a bi ginger.
Yeah.
He's like a unicorn.
People need to be bi. I feel like everybody should be bi, personally.
I mean, I don't.
I was reading.
I don't think I could. I don't think I could sponsor that movement.
I was reading a book today, and it's like my new favorite book, and I'm going to suggest it to everyone, and it's called Sex at Dawn, and it's really fantastic. And it kind of like goes back, and it's like going back as far as like Darwinism and like how we came up with like sexualities and why it's said that men are the more sexual species as to where women are just doing it to kind of like please a man or whatever, so it's kind of like digging into all of those realms. And they were saying that there was these tribes that used to and it still happens. I'm not saying it doesn't, but this is like one of the things that they were looking up is one of these tribes, they would have like everyone, it was like a group family. I'm not going to describe this right, but they basically said like the more men who come inside this one woman to impregnate her, if you don't know which one is the father, all the fathers are going to stay around. That's the book. It's so good.
Sex at Dawn.
Yeah. That, all these men are going to stick around to be a father, and it's going to be a community as to where like, basically having sex was a barter of, I'm going to have sex with this man. He's going to provide me, food and protection. And that's just that one monogamous relationship, or versus the group mentality where we all take care of them, and you don't just have sex with that one person and you have that one baby. You have sex with all of you find, and it even said, you find the funny men, you find the smart men, you find the built men, you find all the characters that you want your baby to have, and you have sex with all of those men, and then you get your one baby, and then everybody helps take care of that baby. And I was like, that is the village I need to be in. Like, I don't even want a baby, but I would have a baby in that village. Like,
so you're volunteering as tribute.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be the.
Well, not now. I'm too old to be a mom now, but
How old are you now?
I'm 36.
How are you too old to be a mom? That's not too old.
It's a risky.
I feel like you're just choosing not to.
Well, yeah, I am.
And you're using your age as an excuse.
No, but I am choosing not to. But also, at 36, as a woman, you have to be like vigilant to the fact that now it's risky.
Your mom keeps on you about it, doesn't she?
Oh, 110%.
Yeah, that's what this is really about.
But I think she's forgotten that
Nah.
She's like...
No, moms don't forget.
She has... I have 13 nieces and nephews.
Jesus.
Yeah, my stepbrothers and sisters are fucking, And
Maybe that's what it is. Your mom doesn't like that she has the number, the evil number of 13 grandkids.
Maybe you're right.
Maybe she needs you to throw 14 in the mix.
I don't think she wants me to have a kid with like my belief system being as far off from hers as it is. Like, I think that she thinks it's better off if I don't bring a kid into
Does your mom think that if you had a kid, you'd like be pushing your kid into porn?
I think she might think
Really?
that. Yeah, she thinks my dad is the reason I'm in porn now. She thinks that my dad was a bad influence on me sexually because which both of my parents were very open sexually. So if it had anything, it was the both of them. But we were very open about sex. So sex was never a taboo subject in our household.
Right.
But my dad was very promiscuous because my parents were divorced and I lived with my dad and I did see him be promiscuous. And because of that, my mom was like, well, that's why you're in porn. You watched your dad fuck all these women. And I'm like, well, first off, I wasn't watching dad fuck the women.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Yeah, that would be weird. But it didn't even affect me like that. I just honestly was just like, well, my dad's like a pimp. Like my dad was a good looking dude with cash.
Your dad's laying pipe.
Right.
That's what's up.
No one's mad at that. But it's not the reason I got into porn. But that's what I'm saying. She thinks that. So yeah, I think she might think that if I had a kid, I would press it to do.
What was the reason you got into porn? I'm curious.
Money. No, comedy. No, honestly,
Wait.
Money and comedy.
Those are two totally separate things.
No, those are the same things.
Because there's no money in comedy until
That's
you
exactly
make
why
it.
I'm in porn. Okay, I moved to Los Angeles to do stand-up comedy.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yes, I had been doing stand-up in Kansas City for a couple years, so I knew that this is what I wanted to do. I had already quit. I worked in medicine for a decade, and I had already quit medicine, and I was bartending, so I could do stand-up comedy. And then I saved up a bunch of money, and I moved to Los Angeles. But the week I moved, I got a DUI, and so I had saved up $16,000 to come to Los Angeles. I had found an apartment. It was $1,800 a month. It was a studio apartment. And then I went home to go get my stuff, got a DUI. That was $12,000 of my $6,000 gone to a lawyer immediately, cash out of I had $4,000 now moving to Los Angeles, and I had no job and I had no plan. And all I knew was I had enough money. I did have the money before the DUI to get me through a 6-month lease, which is what I had signed. And so I was like, well, I'll just have 6 months to figure it out. And then that happened. And then I was like, well, fuck. And I was so broke. And I got a job doing the books at a construction company during the day. And then I was bartending at night. And I was doing zero comedy. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm out here in Los Angeles to be a stand-up comedian. And instead, I'm so broke. I'm working 2 jobs. And I haven't done a single bit of stand-up. And I had a girlfriend from my hometown who is still my best friend. She called me up and she was like, hey, I'm going to come to Los Angeles. I'm going to do porn. Can I stay with you? And I was like, oh, God, I need help with rent. Yeah, please come. And I saw her make 10 grand her first week. And I was like, I am so broke. And I was like, if I just did a little bit of porn, I could start doing comedy. And that's exactly what I did. And I started doing porn so I could quit my jobs and do stand up at night and do porn during the day. And that's what I've been doing for the past 6 years.
And it worked out.
Worked out wonderfully.
Did you ever have the idea pop into your head, maybe you could have just managed your friend?
No, because she's not even in porn anymore.
But it would have got you by for a little bit.
Yeah. Like taking her 10%.
Don't you wish OnlyFans existed back then?
Yeah, right. Honestly, no. It didn't go well for me for the first 3 years. Let me just say that.
Porn didn't?
Yeah, porn did not go well for me
Why
for
is
a
that?
long time. I had bad agents. I was a bad actress. I had bad healthcare. I had lots of reasons. I didn't know about laser hair removal, so I had a bunch of like ingrown hairs. I didn't have a sexy vagina back then. I had more red hair. There was a lot of reasons I wasn't working.
You are the most honest person
I'm too
I've
honest.
ever met.
I'm sorry.
You were like, why weren't you very popular? I had a sketchy vagina.
Yeah. Honesty.
I wasn't very good at faking it.
That's exactly what it was. All of those things.
I couldn't take big dick back then.
I could take all of the dick, but
Were you promiscuous before you got into porn?
Yes, this was not a jump. Like, that's been anytime somebody writes me, like, from my hometown, and they're like, I didn't see this coming. I'm like, bullshit. Like, how did you not see this coming?
Everybody in your town knew that you were kind of like the girl?
I mean, yeah. I was, okay, do you ever heard of the website, thedirty.com?
Yeah.
I was on that site like 6 times. People from my hometown, like, hated me. Like, I was, like, known for, like, fucking people's boyfriends or husbands. And I did. Like, I wasn't a good human. I didn't claim to be like the best person.
For those of you who don't know what thedirty.com is, it was basically social media of the day. It was a website where you could go on and you could just write
awful stuff about people.
You could write blog comments about like people in your area.
People put my pictures up.
Oh yeah, they'd be like, "Watch out for watch out for Cindy so and so. She has herpes and she's fucking Brian something or other, and she gave him herpes and she's a real piece of shit." So, and they would post like pictures.
Yeah, I remember one.
How was that legal?
I don't know. I remember one where somebody said she fucked 30 people in 30 days, and I just thought, wow, that's impressive. And then I thought, well, now I can, but back then I could not, and I didn't. But find me now, So
30 people in 30 days.
Yeah, that was one of them. Because when they put stuff, it was always just like ridiculous.
Yeah, it was always blown out of proportion.
Yeah,
it was probably more like 20 people in 30 days.
Yeah, like 15. Here was the problem.
Did you ever do 2 a day?
Yeah.
Prior to porn?
Yeah. Here's the problem. I
love you.
I knew the power of the pussy way too early. That's the problem, because I was hot early on. I was really attractive even before my boobs. I didn't have boobs, but I was still hot and I was blonde. So I had men so easily. And you guys you will fuck anything. So have like a little bit of like, like fun personality to you. And like
some men will fuck anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Not me.
Most.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm saying is it just got to be too easy to me. And what I used to do, and this is so bad, I hate even admitting it. I was not a good person. I did horrible things in my 20s. But I used to go to parties of like, my mom lived, out in the country, and so she lived by a college town, and I didn't go to that college, but I would go to the parties, and I would just walk the streets until I would see a big house party, and I would just go into the party, and I would evilly just kind of stand and wait and like see like who all the girls were like going after, like who was like the main catch of the night. And then I was like, well, that's who I'm going home with. And then I made that my only fucking mission.
Oh my God.
And I would do that all the time just to be like a huntress, just like
just to prove a point.
Yeah. It was awful.
That's legit.
I was a horrible person.
When did you lose your virginity?
I was 15. But I was like the last one of my friends.
How much older was he?
He was 18. Jeremy Gilpin.
Well, now I gotta bleep it.
No, why? I say it on like every show because I hope he writes to me. I hope he's alive.
Would you smash again?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't even remember really what he looks like. He was really cowboyish. That's all I really remember because I'm from Missouri. But I don't remember his face. I couldn't pick him out of a lineup for sure. But I just hope he writes to me one day, or
Do you ever have people that you fucked in the past before you got into porn that reach out to you and like, I saw you saw you doing porn?
Yes, all the time.
And do they try to get back in it?
I don't even know. I think that they just like want to start up a conversation. But they usually start by saying like, oh, I just found out. And I'm like, no, you fucking didn't. Like, no, you didn't. Like, it's just so funny. I just don't even respond anymore, to be honest with you. Like, there's certain people from my hometown I still talk to, and then there's the most that I just don't. Like, there's just no need. I don't live in that town anymore. Like, we don't have the same things in common, so it just doesn't.
Yeah, it's the same way for me. When I go home, it doesn't really feel like home anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Because I've been in LA for 13 years.
Yeah.
But when I go home, it's just kind of like, it's a completely different lifestyle from what we live here.
Yeah.
And it's a completely different grind. It's a completely different mental state.
Yeah.
It's depressing. It's
Don't
just
you feel like
depressing.
when you go home, you have to like take off because you can't even like, I feel like I can't even like be on my social. Well, I guess maybe just because I'm trying to like give my family quality time, but I'm always like, I can't even be on social media. Like I just basically say to my people, like, look, I'm going to be in Kansas City for 4 days. Like probably not going to hear from me. Sorry, you know?
No, I'm exactly the opposite. When I go home, I'm like, this is awful. And I just try to live through my social media for whatever
But I love my
period of time I
family.
fucked up and decided to go home.
Yeah.
Like when I go home for Christmas, it's like Christmas Day, I'm like, hey, family, everybody's great. And then the next day, I'm just like, please,
How
don't
long
get
do
away
you
from
stay
me.
at a time?
Like 4 days. And
Do you
that's
stay
too
at
much.
their house, your parents' house?
Stay at my mom's house.
Do you see? I get hotels now.
See, that's what I need to start doing. That's what I need to start doing, because when you stay at your mom's house, it's first of all, let me explain my mom to you. This is ridiculous. I'm 40 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. My mom still has a curfew for me when I go home.
No, she
She will lock me out of the house if I'm not home by a certain time. She won't give me a house key. And gets worse, she won't let me drive her cars. I'm dead serious. She has 3 cars. She won't let me drive any of them.
How?
She's like,
why?
She's like, no, you're not on my insurance, and if you were to wreck, then it wouldn't be covered.
She really thinks you're super irresponsible.
She thinks I'm 15.
Wow.
It's awful.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah.
Like older?
I'm the oldest.
You're
of
the
3.
oldest, and this is what's happening?
Yes. I raised my brother and my sister, the 2 people who are fairly well-adjusted adults. My mom worked 16 hours a day. So
Why doesn't she trust you?
I don't know.
That is crazy.
And here's the worst part. I pay her car payments.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
And you can't drive the cars you pay for?
No.
What is happening?
I have.
Wait, does she drive you around when you go home?
Yes.
Is that what happens?
Like an Uber. I am an insane mother.
And you don't drink, so it's not
I
like
don't
she's
drink.
like doing it for like the good of you.
And I don't party.
Like, yeah.
And when I do, she still lives sort of in the area where I grew up.
This is fascinating.
So when I do ask to borrow the car, I'm only going maybe a quarter of a mile. I just don't want to walk in 0-degree weather to my friend's house. I also don't want to walk to a friend's house and have them be like, why the fuck did you just walk here? And I'm like, because my mom won't let me take the car.
That is hilarious. My dad literally bought my old car from me, so when I go home, I have my own car there.
This is insane. This is
Right.
this is how bad it is. I actually have been giving thought to do that, about buying a car
To have there.
and leaving it at my
Yeah.
brother's house. So I
Why
have
don't
a
you
car
stay
when
with your
I'm home.
brother then?
Because my brother lives like way far out away from where we grew up. So it's hard for me to see everybody. And my brother,
Since you don't have a car.
yeah, my brother. I mean, I could rent a car, but when you're going home for
I
the holidays,
know,
there's
I know,
rental cars are few and far between, and
Yeah.
you know the whole thing. But yeah, my mom is an insane person.
That's
but anyways,
crazy.
yeah.
She really hates you.
But that's why she doesn't hate me. But that's why I only go home once a year. That's why.
God.
Yeah, I go home for the holidays and that's it.
Wow.
They're always like, "Hey, come home during the summer. There's
go
so much
like
more to
2
do."
or
I'm
3.
like, "No, I don't wanna."
Yeah, but I go just because I know my parents are going to die. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
That's what FaceTime's for. I see my mom every day on the FaCetime.
Do you really? Every time?
Every single day I talk to my
Wow.
mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I mean, I talk to my parents on the phone, but my dad's like a 3-minute to 4-minute conversationalist, and then he's got to go. Like he just can't do any more than that. And then my mom, on the other hand, is like she'll talk to me for hours, and I have to like pretend to be busy.
My mom's the best. I love her. She's hilarious. My mom is the reason I am the way I am. She's
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
a little bit of both. She's insane. Like she's like one of those people. Like she has zero fear of anyone.
That's
and,
great.
And puts up with zero bullshit.
That's great.
Her life motto is, "If you don't pay my bills, fuck yourself." That's her
how
life
I
motto.
like your mom. I'm into it.
She's dope, man. She walks around with 2 handguns in her purse at all times.
okay. Okay.
She has pulled them on people.
That's where your mom and I differ, because I couldn't. Not because I don't think that people should be allowed to have guns, do your thing, But my thing is I personally have anger issue.
So does my mom.
Yeah, and I would kill somebody though.
My mom pistol whipped a guy in a Target parking lot.
Okay, yeah, your mom and I have a lot in common, I feel like.
I was a grown adult, and he was
God.
backing out of a parking spot and almost hit me. And then my mom started cussing him out, and then he got out of the car, big mistake, and started cussing my mom out. And before I could go to assault him, my mom pulled a pistol out, and he was like, "Oh shit!" And he tried to get in his car, and my mom was whacking him.
Oh my God, your mom sounds so much like me, but she shouldn't have guns then.
No, she should. She lives near Detroit. She should have guns.
Oh man. But see, like I'm a fighter too. Like I am the person, I'm psychotic in a car. Road rage is real with me. I will stop my car and I will get out of it. I will come to your door. I will threaten you with violence. I will follow you to your destination. I got nothing but time, people. So I'm a psychotic bitch in the car. I finger gun people all the time. When I drive by them, I
got
do
nervous
this.
for a second.
I do this. Pa, 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 to people, and I look them directly in their eyes when I do it. So if I had a real gun, I would for sure be in prison.
Have you ever done that on a porn set?
Finger bang somebody?
Finger gun somebody?
Yeah.
Stared right in their eyes and going, "Pop, pop, 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 pop."
I know, but I should.
Can you please do that?
Yeah.
And send me a link. I've been on some porn sets. It's a lot of fun. I have some friends in porn.
Fun.
I bet you know a bunch of my friends. Do you know Just Dave?
Yeah, I do know Just Dave.
And do you know Nadir?
Of course I know Nadir. Nadir is one of my very good friends.
Those are the guys I ride motorcycles with.
Oh, I love Nadir so much.
Those are my boys. You know who used to be the co-host of this podcast was Gina Valentina.
Oh no, I did not know that.
But she stepped away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She needed to focus on work.
Well, that happens.
She might be coming back though.
Well, now that no one has
For those of you who were curious, Gina might be coming back.
Now that no one has any work to do.
Yeah, the porn industry is shut down. People probably don't know that, but
yeah,
just like the rest,
shut down.
Just like the rest of the entertainment industry, my industry, the what they call mainstream industry is shut down. Porn industry is shut down as well. And I've heard from porn producers like Nadir and Just Dave and all those guys that the reason it's still shut down is because the performers refuse to perform.
No, I don't agree with that. I'm ready to go back.
But what they've been saying is production has been trying to ramp up, but they've been getting backlash from performers saying, if we catch you performing, we'll blackball you. I
have seen that, and I was one of the people who spoke up on Twitter and said, like, literally go fuck yourselves, because there were people that were like, oh, if you left your home during quarantine, you're blacklisted, no one will ever work with you. And I'm like, first off, that's never going to work, because half of the people whose houses that I did go to said, just don't put anything on Twitter because I just don't want to get blacklisted. And I'm like, oh, so everyone's still doing it, they're just not going to post about it. I'm going to post about what I'm doing because I'm not afraid of anyone or anyone on the fucking internet and what they're going to say about me. And also, are you saying we're never going to let anyone new into porn? Because how are you going to know that the people who are coming into porn didn't leave their house during fucking quarantine or didn't fuck a stranger during quarantine? You're like, oh, the people in porn right now, these are the only people who are ever going to be there, and only the people who didn't leave their house now get to have sex with the other people on camera. How are you ever going to govern that? Like, you're so out of your mind to even think that you can say that to people. Like, I have been having sex with other people. And that's my job. So I have an OnlyFans account, and right now all I am is a fucking OnlyFans model, because I'm not a comic and I'm not a porn star.
We can't be a comic right now.
Right, I can't be a comic and I can't be a porn star, so I make OnlyFans content.
OnlyFans has blown up. They've been it's been because dudes are at home and all they have to do is jerk off. So
yeah, exactly. No, I drove to Arizona to.
I know girls that are making like 100 G's a month right now.
Yeah, there's money in it. I'm not one of those girls, but I make enough to be a happy person.
You know what? I have to be honest, I didn't quarantine. I was out hiking and running and hanging out with friends and barbecuing and doing all these things. And there was a group of my friends that I had two very specific groups of friends during the quarantine. One was my group of friends who were like-minded like me, who were saying this is the only time in human history that we have ever quarantined healthy people.
Right.
Let's stay away from older people and people with immune deficiencies and allow it to run through the population of healthy people. And that's the better way of dealing with it.
Right.
You're not putting people in their homes and forcing them to breathe air that's been recirculated through their home, and you're not forcing them to deplete their immune systems by not being exposed to things,
and deplete their bank accounts by not being able to work.
Bank accounts, vitamin D deficiencies, all of these things.
Yeah.
And then there were groups of friends that when we would go out and do these things, they'd be like, "You're the reason that everything is going off the rails," and blah blah blah. And now
they would wish you death. Also, I had friends that were like, "Well, I hope that you get coronavirus and that you die from this." I'm like, "Oh, that's fun." I'm like, Jesus Christ! I went to dinner in a state where you could go to dinner, and they're like, "You should die."
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
I got some of those as well. I have lost some friends over this whole situation.
It's insanity.
And now it's kind of coming out that we were right.
Yeah.
The whole time.
You know
Imagine that. Fauci's like, "Oh yeah, those masks." They released statements today. The masks don't work. They never did. The quarantine was the wrong choice. Trump dropped out of the what is it? World Health Organization, the WHO.
I thought you were gonna say the.
Dropped out of the WHO because of China's involvement and obvious corruption. And you've got all of these doctors that are saying, all these people who have been staying in their homes have actually been getting more cases of it because they're constantly surrounded by each other. And
right.
So we were right. All you idiots. All you sheeple.
I didn't call you an idiot, by the way.
I did.
I did both. I tried to be like vigilant. I tried to wash my hands. I wore my mask. I did the things, but I also went out and did life, especially when other places opened back up. Like
your body needs exposure.
Yeah.
That's the way that your immune system works.
Yeah.
It's like any other part of your body. It needs to be worked. It needs to be worked out.
Well, and also like I think anybody who eats ass can't get it anyway, because you've been exposed to so many extra viruses.
Then I am immune to everything. I have eaten so much ass in my life.
Then you're fine then. You'll never get
you
it.
and I will never catch anything.
High five.
High five.
Oh, that was awful.
That was terrible. Okay.
That's like the whitest high five in the world.
So you've been in stand-up for a while.
8 years.
You've been out there grinding. I see you out there. I see you at the Comedy Store. I see you at open mics. I see you doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
How many? We got to get to current events real soon.
How long is your show?
It's an hour typically. Okay. But I'm just curious about this because you're in what they call open micer or up and coming comedian. Yeah. How many offers have you gotten from bigger comedians to be like, "Hey, feature for me if
help your career."
Yeah, if you're willing to.
I've actually had the words, "I can help your career if you will date me." Like I've heard those exact words. I won't say their name. I'll say it to you when we're not on the air. But it's just like the audacity of these people, and I'm like, "Oh, but you won't help me." As now we're friends. This person said this to me when we were at dinner, and we had probably gone to dinner like 4 or 5 times. Like just like I like friends. Sorry, some people I don't want to fuck, and we'd gone to dinner several times just as friends. And then that's when he said to me like, "I can really help your career if you want to like date me." And I was like, "No, but you don't want to help me like this." And he was like, "No." And I was like, "Oh, got it." Like, cool.
You sure you don't want to say their name? I'll totally bleep it. I'll totally bleep it. No, don't say it. I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I won't
I
bleep
will.
it. I won't bleep it. Don't worry, guys. I'll put it in the comments section.
But it's just like it's so ballsy. But then honestly, I've been around like the exact opposite. Someone who had a huge career, never even like held anything over my head. In fact, when I would come to him and say like, "Hey, could I put your name on this project, or would you mind being a part of it to like bring your massive name to my project?" And he was always like, "Yeah, anything. Like I'm willing to help you with anything." Like those people who like, they have everything, and that I can name this name because I'm Russell Peters.
Yeah, he's
He's
great.
a great
I love
man. He's an amazing person, and his career is massive. It's huge, but he's all about helping other people, and he doesn't expect anything from you because of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a genuinely good person, and he genuinely wants to help your career. He's offered to be an EP on things I'm producing, just to have his name on a project would, get it looked at by so many different networks, you know, and it's just like having him offer to do something like that for nothing, and then have people like this that are like, by the way, the person who offered it to me has like one show at the Comedy Store that they book. And he was like, I could really do a lot for you. Okay.
Yeah, Russell's great. He's one of those people who are huge stand-up comedians, but they don't treat up and coming
like nobody's
comedians like nobody's. Yeah, he talks to them. I've had several conversations with Russell. He's great. Brian Callen's another one of them who's awesome. Yeah. The same way with him. Joe Rogan also the same way.
Yeah. See, I've never talked to Joe, but I would probably fangirl out on Joe, so I probably
most girls do. Yeah. Brian has taken me out and let me feature for him on the road and nice. Open for him on the road. I did have to fuck him.
Right. Well, of course.
But he's
needy.
He is needy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is needy.
Hi,
but yeah, what's up, B? But yeah, no, there's a few of those. I had a feeling that there were some people that had offered that.
Yeah.
What I love is like there's bookers that do the same shit.
Yeah, but you know
not even big stand-ups are just like bookers at comedy clubs.
Yeah.
It's happened.
Yeah,
I already know it's happened.
Yeah, it's happened.
I've seen it happen.
Yeah, it's happened.
Yeah. You're a unicorn in the comedy industry though, because you're a hot comic.
Thanks.
You and I are like
on a team of our own.
They hate us.
Yeah.
People in the comedy industry, when I first came into the comedy industry, were like,
but no. You know what? They don't hate us when we get off stage, and that is the only thing that matters.
Exactly. Once they realize that you're not just a tourist and you're there for the love of it, and you're not just trying to use the fact that you're good looking as like kind of a stepping stone, that you're actually working and you're putting in the work.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oh, okay, you're one of us. You're fucked up like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, let's get to some current events so we can get Silvia out of here.
Oh God,
she's got a scene to record.
The current events are horrible.
Nah, not all of them.
Okay.
The meet me outside girl, Bad Bobby, baby, Bahabi.
She looks rough.
Yeah, she's only like what, 17?
Oh my God, she's only 17 years
she's 17.
old.
She enters rehab for trauma and pills.
Of course.
So she's addicted to pills. She's been famous since she was like 15 though.
This poor, I don't
blame
want to
this on
say
Dr.
poor
Phil.
girl, but this poor girl, her life is just going to be shit. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, of course. I've met her actually.
You
have?
She's
17. Yeah, she
was she shit in life?
She was trying to get into the whole, well, she's got a huge social media following.
She does,
but she was trying to get into like comedy skits and stuff. So she came and she filmed with us and did some things.
How was she as a human?
She's 17, so I'll keep my opinions
probably
to
best.
myself.
Probably best.
She was 17.
What's this? My vision is I can't even read.
So Danielle, also known as Bad Baby, sources connected, is getting professional help for a couple very serious issues. She's made a decision to enter rehab. Sources connected to the rapper tell us that Danielle, who's 17, recently checked herself into a facility at an undisclosed location. Has been held up for weeks now.
Oh, it's because somebody called her out on her silence to George Floyd, is what it said.
Well, for this news story at least. I'm thinking that's what they were saying is part of the reason why she went in for trauma, but she's also going in for an addiction to opioids. It looks like. Yeah.
Well, that's sad. I honestly do hate that. That's shit.
Well, this is something that happens a lot, unfortunately, in the music community as well. You get a little bit of shine.
It's the entertainment world in general. It's because people are mean. When you are in the limelight, they feel like they can just attack.
And then you try to self-medicate. Unfortunately... And especially when you're 17 and you're thrust into this kind of spotlight, you don't know how to handle it.
I can't imagine.
So we here at Major Waves, and I'm sure I speak for Miss Silvia Saige right now when we say, Danielle, I hope everything works out for you.
Yeah, sure.
I hope you get through it.
Oh God.
but I won't be doing any videos with you.
Husband.
Carol Baskin. Carol Baskin's husband, his will was forged 100%, so claims the share. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Who saw that coming?
Yeah, that's for sure.
The guy who disappeared at a tiger camp.
Yeah.
His will was forged by his wife who got everything. That's weird.
I don't understand how she's like, she just got like she just got like awarded his camp too, like his tiger camp or whatever you call him, zoo. She just inherited his zoo.
Rescue.
So it's like she's winning in the courts, like currently. So how? I don't understand how she's not getting like investigated.
Supposedly they reopened the investigations, right, Anthony? That's what I heard.
Okay,
they're supposedly looking back into it.
Reopened. Okay.
Can we play a little bit of this without? Will it be taken down from YouTube if we do? Should be all right. I hope so. we can't have another YouTube hit.
Yeah, I had one too.
Experts to say that the will was a forgery, and I had already told them, 2 months ago.
Wait, the will is a forgery?
Oh yeah, no, they had 2 experts deem it 100% a forgery. But
wow.
Like I said.
Well,
hold on one second, Rob.
We were getting breaking news there. Hold on.
Exactly right.
As if cops haven't been taking enough shit this week.
Because the girl who came forward and said, hey, I was forced to witness and say that I witnessed these signatures. The problem was the statute of limitations had already expired.
So she had a witness that says she was forced.
At that point.
Right.
But,
All right, go ahead and cut it. Go ahead and cut it. Wow. What do you think that was like? Carol Baskin was like, look, you either sign this as a witness or I'm going to feed you to a
Your
tiger.
lunch, bitch.
What the fuck?
Well, I mean, she did just kill a man right before this happened.
That's true.
So
That's true.
you probably take that woman pretty seriously.
I think it's funny that he's in jail.
He deserves to be in jail, though.
He killed tigers, and he supposedly tried to kill Carol Baskin.
And he got all these kids addicted to meth. Like, come on now.
Hey, listen,
Like,
if you do so much meth that you turn gay, whose fault is that really?
I'm just saying, methamphetamine is one hell of a drug.
I've never seen anybody so high that they're like, you know what? I'm gay now.
Yeah, people do you not hear people saying like, I will suck dick for meth? Like that is like the real thing, like sucking dick for crack. Like,
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's a thing people do.
Maybe.
It's a serious drug.
Or maybe they were just such dummies that they were able to be talked into it. Listen, there are addicts, sure.
Yeah.
There are also dumb people.
Yeah, well, that is true. But,
Yeah.
I get it.
I've
been talked into sucking a lot of dicks.
I want that to be in the narrative. Addiction, bad. Dummies, worse. All right, what else do we got? Asteroid that may be the size of the Empire State Building is set to zoom past. Great. Let's put that into the universe because we don't have enough going on. I don't even know why it's going to zoom
past. Just take us out.
It's probably not going to zoom past now that everything is happening. I have a feeling that they've done all kinds of math. I know, Sylvia, you don't know how math works.
I'm not going to do it.
They've done all kinds of math, and they're like, oh, it's going to miss us by like 700 miles. And then the day before it hits, they're going to be like, hey, guys, so we kind of screwed up this math. We're going to get hit by this giant asteroid. See you later.
I hope that's the case.
Why?
Where are we at? Where are we going?
We're getting through it.
I'm just kidding.
You know what?
I'm just kidding.
I had this conversation.
I said I was hopeful. Don't you remember?
I had this conversation the other day. Do you remember? All right, so you're old enough. You saw the original Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Anthony, you've seen original Ghostbusters, right? You know the scene where Gozer shows up and they're on the roof of I think it was the
Gozer?
Empire State Building, the like demon that shows up with the 2 dogs with her.
Yeah. Okay.
And she's on the top. They're on top of the building. And she looks at the Ghostbusters and she's like, choose the form of the Dementor or whatever. Yeah. And they're like, clear your heads. Everybody clear your heads. Whatever you think of, that will be the form of what kills us. That's how I feel right now. Like I feel like the Ghostbusters are on top of the building.
You feel like the Michelin Man is gonna come over.
Like Pete, whoever Dan Aykroyd chose the Stay Puft Marshmallow.
Oh, Stay Puft Marshmallow. Yeah. That's what it was.
I feel like they're on top of the building right now, and nobody cleared their heads. And one guy thought of a pandemic, and boom, pandemic, and then we got through it, and the other guy's like murder hornets, and then murder hornets, and then another guy's like racism, and now it's and then now the fourth guy is like comet, and it's gonna happen. I feel like that's happening right now.
I know.
Or
feels like we're at the end.
Or we're in a computer program right now.
I have said for a very, very long time, I honestly think that we are ants in a little ant farm, and that somebody is just like watching over us going like, look at them. Look, they built a new little city.
Like in Men in Black, where they show the galaxy and it goes into a marble, and like the alien flicks the marble.
That is us. We are so little. Like we're games to somebody.
Okay, if this were a computer program. Okay.
Yeah.
If this were a computer program, how would you end it?
How would I end?
How would you win the game?
Win Earth as a game?
Yeah. How would you end it? Like if you program this computer program, how does it end?
Yeah, I would blow it up with a comet.
Blow it up with a comet.
Yeah.
Anthony, how would you end it?
Ooh, good question.
Thank you.
Damn. I'm trying to think of like the best apocalypse situation. Like it has to be huge. It has to be probably fuck, man.
Well, I mean,
alien invasion is pretty tight.
Alien invasion would be pretty tight.
I'm worried because I think that's what's next.
Alien invasion would be pretty tight.
Well, because we've already said yeah, they exist. Yeah, they're Area 51. Yeah, we've got their bodies. Yeah, we've got their spaceships. Yeah, we're flying stuff. Yeah, we've got a space team or whatever the fuck it's called now, and
Space Force,
and I'm like, this is about to happen, and they just aren't telling us. Like it's the next thing.
If this were a computer program, and I was in charge of how this whole thing ended,
how you doing it?
This is going to sound stupid.
Is it a giant orgy and everyone gets someone gets syphilis and we all die?
Leave it to the porn star to turn it to a giant orgy. Great.
I don't even like orgies.
Nope.
Go.
This is how it would end for me. God would be real.
Oh my God.
He would just show up and be like, well,
I told you bitches.
Well, you fucked up, huh?
So whose side is he on, though? Is he like a
nobody's?
Christian,
I feel like God is just.
What is he?
I feel like God is an angry child with a magnifying glass. I feel like he would just show up and be like, "Well, that's it.
This is it, guys.
That's it. I'm starting over."
Have you seen the show Preacher?
Yeah.
No.
That's
kind of how it is.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. At the end of it, God's just like, "Well, fuck. What are you doing?"
You guys fucked up.
Yeah.
You guys fucked up.
Yeah.
Really
and I feel
bad.
like God would be nothing like any of the religions have chose.
He goes into the ocean, starts picking up the plastic. He's like, what the fuck is this? You guys, what is this? And like, he's pissed, you know? We've destroyed this place.
You just show up. It would be like it would be like just some unassuming. It wouldn't even look human, you know? It would just be like some orb of light.
Yeah.
He'd just be like, no. What are you doing? Of course racism is stupid. No, why did you build bombs?
Right?
Yeah. He would just look nothing like anybody he fucking chose to be. All right. So, Sylvia, where can they find you?
You can find me on Pornhub. You can find me.
Yes.
You can find me online. You can find me at YouTube, Sexy Funny Raw. Instagram, the Silvia Saige. Instagram has a little blue check. Kevin thinks that I'm too cool for mentioning that.
You're a
but
fucking
I'm real
elitist.
proud of it.
You're an elitist.
Real
now.
proud.
Yeah.
And my Twitter does not have a blue check, but I'm just
Well, you ain't cool
think
then.
Silvia Saige XXX. I know it's lame, but
Does your Snapchat have a check?
no.
Yeah.
Do Snapchats have checks?
No.
Oh, I was like, is that a thing? I was like, I'm going to get my assistant on that immediately. Why don't I have one of those?
Guys, go check out Sylvia's OnlyFans.
Yeah, or that too.
Yeah, type in promo code Major Waves for 10% off.
I'll see if I can make that happen.
Guys, make sure that you follow our sponsors, of course, BetterBox.
Speedweed.
LA Speedweed, the speediest weed in LA.
We love Speedweed. I love Speedweed.
Damn Good Candle Company, who is now carrying the Kevin Mack signature candle, Mac and Sheets. That's not it. That's not it.
But it's
that's not
man
my
bun.
candle.
Oh,
That's
this
man
isn't?
bun. Yeah, smell it. That's not my signature scent.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. I'll let you. I'll give you one of my signature scents before you go.
Okay, great.
Guys, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, follow us on Instagram at Major Waves. Follow me on Instagram at Kevin Mack. Follow Kyle at Kyle Massey, even though he's pretty much not part of the show anymore because he's never here because he's believing all the bullshit.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that one.
All the damn good Campbells are damn good.
Yeah.
Imagine that. All right, guys, Major Waves Podcast. We out.
Bye. 10 p.m. is now the curfew.